Hello everybody, how y'all doing today? I'm coming in here with just only tech news. Tech news is based upon Apple new CPU, and they are happy to go ahead and do a 32 core CPU that's coming out only on their MacBooks only. The Intel new CPU that's getting ready to launch out, and AMD is talking about coming out with Zen 4 CPUs in 2022. Alright, let's get on with that information. I know y'all excited to hear more about this here. Alrighty, first topic is Apple announced that their CPUs is faster than Intel and AMD. Second is talk about the new 11th Gen i9 11900K 8 core 16 thread Rocket Lake S CPU. And last but not least, AMD announced a new CPU to launch in 2021, not 2022. And they're excited to come up with the Zen 4 that is going to be on the new 5 nanoseconds base. Alrighty, let's start off with Apple. Apple preparing Monster 32-core HEDT CPU to take out the x86 market homegrown discrete GPUs in the works too. Apple has already announced its intentions to stop moving away from the x86 ecosystem, and this is something we believe is in the best interest of the company, considering the 86 champion is asleep at the wheel. But that's not it. The company is also working on a 32-core HEDT part that will likely be featured in its Mac Pro series, which currently features Intel 28-core parts. Keep in mind, their desktop chips will have big cores, and it's also turning out that there are small cores in the core count as well, although I will consider that unlikely. On the GPU side, Apple is using AMD discrete GPUs and reportedly plans to phase them out as well with their in-house silicon. The homegrown GPU will have up to 128 cores, and it will replace the Radeon design currently being used. 16 to 32 core parts for mobile and 64 core parts for desktop are already in active development and will be significantly faster than the Radeon GPUs they replace. You could go check out the web source here at https://wccftech.com. Apple preparing Monster 32 core HEDT CPU to take out the 86 market homegrown discrete GPUs in the works too. I will go ahead on and post this in the description below so you can go ahead and read more about that. That's very interesting that Apple and all the Apple users out there should be happy that they're coming up with a big Monster 32 core HEDT CPU. That's a strong powerhouse. Alright, moving right along to Intel. Intel Core i9 11900K Rocket Lake boost up to 5.3 gigahertz, say rumored specs. We can't wait to see. Intel upcoming generation Core i9 11900K processors boost up to 5.3 gigahertz, according to rumored specs on various 11 Gen Core Rocket Lake S desktop processor source with Haruka's 5719. The i9 11900K and the Core i7 11700K are 8 core 16 threads. The i9 1900K has a maximum single core boost frequency of 5.3 gigahertz and a 4.8 gigahertz all core boost. The i11 700K, on the other hand, has all core boost of 4.6 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz single core boost. The i5 continues to be on the 6-core 12 threads, with Intel alleged already and unlocked cores i5 11600K and a locked i5 11400. Both part lacks TVBs. The i5 1100K ticks up to 4.9 single core and 4.7 all core, while the i5 11400 does 4.2 gigahertz single core and 4.4 boost gigahertz all core. The secret sauce with the Rocket Lake S is the introduce of the new Cypher Cove CPUs cores, with Intel claims offered to double-digit percentage IPC gains over the current gen Comet Lake, and improved dual-channel DDR4 memory controllers with a native support to DDR4 32, a PCI Express Gen 4 root complex, and a Gen 12 XE LP iGPU. The Cypress Cove GPU cores also features VNNI and DL Boost with accelerated AI DNN as well as limited AVX 512 instructions. The 11th Gen core processors will also introduce a CPU attached M.2 NVMe slot similar to the AMD Ryzen's. Intel is expected to launch its first Rocket Lake S processors before Q2 2021. Website is webtechpowerup.com. I will post this in the description and the link. I'll post this in the link in the description below so I can go read more onto that. I got the spec sheets right here. As here, the i9 11900K 8 cores 16 threads, the i7 11700K 8 cores 16 threads 5.0 gigahertz with the all core boost of 4.6 gigahertz, the i5 11600 6 core 12 threads 4.9 gigahertz boost as well as 4.7 gigahertz. Y'all can read more in this description below. Moving right along to the key platforms. The key platform features the new Cypress Cove cores, new memory controller, increased memory speeds up to DDR4 3200, new integrated PCI Gen 4 CPUs, new increased CPU PCIe lanes, add 4 Gen 4 PCI lanes, total of 20 CPU gens. 4 PCIs allow both SSDs and discrete graphic direct CPU attached. New enhanced Intel UHD graphics featuring XE graphic architect. New media encoders up to 4K 60, 12-bit, 4 semicolon 4 semicolon 4 HEVC VP9 SSC up to 4K 60, 10B, 4 semicolon 2.0 AV1. Increased display resolution up to 3x 4K 60 or 2x 5K 60, DP 1.48, HDMI 2.0B, HBR3. New Intel Deep Learning Boost VNNI for improved AI performance. And last but not least, the 11th Gen Intel Core Series processor code and Rocket Lake architect improvement, new CPU core with IPC improvements, new enhanced Intel UHD graphics features, Intel XE graphic architect, new up to 20 CPU PCIe 4.0 lanes, new overclocking features and capabilities, new Intel Deep Learning Boost VNNI support, new integrated USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 20G, new Intel 500 series chipsets. That's interesting because they also announced they're coming out with their new LGA 1700 motherboards that's going to go ahead and support all of this and also introduce the new PCIe 5.0s as well as too. So that we'll be looking out for more of that from Intel. Intel's moving up right along. They doing their thing. not sleeping, as a lot of people ask. All the Intel users out there, I know y'all happy. And when this new CPU come out, enjoy it. And then they're gonna be out with a new motherboard, the LGA 1700 is gonna be coming out in 2022 as well to support the new Rocket Lake CPUs that's gonna be coming online. Alrighty, moving right along to AMD Talk Zen 4 CPUs. As you know now, AMD announced they're not done. AMD said, hey, we're the powerhouse. We're going to maintain to be that powerhouse. So AMD say its new Zen 4 processor will be on the 5 nanometer TSMC MC process. It could arrive in early 2022 with IPC gains, not cores. What is IPC gains? IPC stands for instruction per cycle clock. This tells how many things a CPU can do in one cycle, while clock speed tells you how many cycles a CPU can complete in a second. IPC tells you how many tasks a CPU can conduct in each cycle. For example, while a CPU with a fast clock speed can complete more cycles in 1 second, a CPU with a higher IPC but lower clock speed might still be able to complete more tasks in 1 second. Wow. Ultimately, what makes a faster CPU is a mixture of both clock speeds and IPCs and number of cores. AMD has launched its Zen 3 architect that powers the Ryzen 5000 series, yes, and that new technology, Smart SAM, which is Smart Access Memory, which allows it to peak the PCIe lanes to go ahead and crank up the GPU to go ahead and push it about 15 to 26 more performance, which is great. So with the new flagship Ryzen 9 5950X rocking 16 cores, 32 threads at 4.9 gigahertz for roughly $799. Insanity. And AMD isn't finished, not by a long shot. With that said, to all motherboard creators, with can be expecting a AM5 600 series to be coming out in 2022 to house the new Ryzen 6000 series lines to be coming out in 2022. So, to all the motherboard creators out there, we already on the 500 series. Then you got your X570s, where they're announcing with their new Zen 4 CPUs coming out. That means that Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, ASRock, etc. Y'all got a lot of work to do, so y'all can be caught up to speed with AMD. Information is on TweetTime. We post that in my description below. Here is a roadmap chart that tells you all Ryzen 1000 series, 2000. I love the 3000. Then they came up with the 4000. You don't hardly hear too much about the 4000 series, but the 5000 series are rocking. And now they're finna come out with the 6000 series. The Zen 4 5 nanometers hyphen 7 nanometers EPYC Genoa will be the name of the CPUs. It is to be announced. And then you got your Threadripper 6000 series coming out. And then you got your Ryzen 6000 series Raphael. Everything here is to be announced in 2022. So y'all go ahead and look out for that. I'll hear any more information about AMD and the roadmap to 2022. I will go ahead and keep y'all posted. Go ahead on and click a like. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and y'all have a good night, good afternoon, happy holidays, and peace.